Greetings and salutations. This is Jason Silverain, and I've been in a sci-fi mood of late. Now, I used to love the early MechWarrior games, so when MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries was on sale, I decided to just pick it up. I decided to treat myself just a little bit. I haven't got all the DLC, but I've got quite a few mods that make up for it. Now, the modding community for this game is fantastic. I just have to say it now. I've got a handful which I can advise. I haven't tried the infantry yet. That was apparently something that was originally going to be in this game, but they took it out for various reasons, and these various mods make sure it actually works. Now, the game is somewhat notorious for its terrible AI, so TT Rules AI Mod 2 has fixed most of that. It actually put up a challenge on both sides. Expanded logos, because we really don't get enough customization in this game. These biomes are absolutely amazing when you get them. It is very big mod. Well, the rest of these are mostly under like 100 meg. This one's several gig, and really makes the game chug a little bit. So if you plan on going for this one, there's a few others you might want to consider, or just have low optimization settings. So we got cockpit glass, just make it a bit more pretty, because this way we get rain effects and stuff on our cockpit. And a whole series of just general ones. See, I've got this optimizer here. It does technically conflict with the other mod, but only when it comes to some of the trees. The other one has different models for its trees. No friendly fire, just to make sure the AI don't absolutely destroy one another. I mean, I think it's just amongst your lance mates. And I've added in a few mechs from the old series. Now, one of the other ones I've just kind of put in, which I'm just going to say ahead of time, other than the AI mods, which I would say are a necessity, as a few quality of life enhancements. For example, the double heat sinks, a relatively rare heat sink to keep your mech cool, aren't actually that great. They don't kind of match what they are in like the BattleTech games or anything. This one just kind of boosts them up a little bit to make them worthwhile. I mean, certainly they're twice as effective as a additional heat sink, but they take up 3 slots instead of 1, so they need to be boosted a little bit. Compass headings. This is very useful in co-op, because that way you're not constantly having to check the map to see, you know, whether it's north, south, east or west the enemies are coming from when you're trying to tell your friends who's coming. Hires. You can hire lance mates in this, basically wingmen, and they have random stats, which is fair enough, and I have played the way through the campaign with that, and it'd be nice to have them, you know, last all the way through, because they all have like limitations. The most points you can have on a pilot is 60, which is basically you can reach rank 10 in each of the various pilot skills. This ensures that everyone has that potential. Otherwise, you might have a load of people who only have maybe like 25 or 30 out of 60. And it can be a bit sad to kind of go, well, I've had this pilot throughout the whole game, but I have to retire him because he simply can't keep up. Now, I think if next time I play a campaign, I might just have that for the unique pilots and keep it off the normals. And here we go. And salvage tweaks and restore traits are two just little things of if you basically leg a mech, take out its legs. In the tabletop games and other games, you get more salvage, you get more items you can recover. This just brings that into this game. Traits, later on you can sort of put various upgrades on your mech, and if you want to put your mech into cold storage, it will strip those out as well as its normal equipment. This ensures that it doesn't strip the traits, or you can restore them for free, because the traits are insanely expensive and take forever to put back on, like months in game, which can be a real headache. And the last one, I've got better salvage. Normally you get 3 salvage points for every bit of negotiation you have during your contract phase. This knocks it up to 5. It makes it a bit more bearable and a little less grinding. So, what do we have? We have campaign, which is the default. That's story mode / tutorial. It's actually kind of fun. Not the greatest story in the world, and all it does is really just add a few extra missions in. The whole game kind of is more like Korea. And obviously instant action, which is if you just want to fight, just have some fun, great bit of training. But with Korea, depending on the DLCs you have, essentially you have various start locations of where you want to start in the system, what kind of mechs you start with, kind of people you're going to be working alongside, at least to begin with, and the starting year. Some of these are quite late on, and that can affect various events in the game. Goodness me, you start with a lot of mechs with call to arms. I haven't tried that one yet, but... or this one. Oh my goodness. Now, I think those are more difficult start points, which is why you get given all this good stuff. Traditionally, when you play the normal campaign mode, you start down here, and then you sort of go clockwise around the galaxy. Or, if you're like me, constantly back and forth and go here, back, just darting all over the place. Now, who should I go with today? I'll confess, I don't like any of these mechs. I mean, those are okay. It's all light mechs. Cicada. Ugh, no. House of the Owl. Whipping Boys of the Galaxy. It's basically Space Korea down there. Yes. So we have Space America with lots of influence from France and England. There's like would-be knights. They're kind of hypocritical, but they want to be have democracy. You've got Space North Korea. Then you have Space Holy Roman Empire. But this is kind of Space Germany, which is mostly run by industrialists and merchants. That's House Steiner. One of my favourites, actually. And then you have these guys who are essentially Space Imperial Japan of all the worst elements of it. Oh, and then much later on you have Space Vikings. I love their looks. I love their patterns of their mechs. But, oh, their starting mechs. Well, the Phoenix Hawk, I like that a lot. The rest of them, oh, I was trying to keep your lance mates alive is a struggle. I mean, Griffin's pretty decent. But we get 2 commandos, and I have bad experience with commandos with my lance mates. They tend to die horribly. In fact, I'm just looking at this, and I'm just trying to think. Oh, you've actually got probably the better start. You've got a fire starter, which are absolutely crazy little machines. The Cicada's a bit useless. The Javelin's average. You know what, we're going to go with House Steiner. There we go. And I do like the fact in career mode it does give you this little bit of background on each of the houses and what kind of they stand for. And it's nice to have a bit of the history in there because campaign mode doesn't have that. There's no kind of codex or anything like that. Oh, yep, there we go. I'm not going to import my data. That's a lovely option, I would say, though. I am absolutely thrilled you can do that.
In 2108, humanity began colonizing the stars. Their reach would eventually span a vast region of space known as the Inner Sphere. During its golden age, under the governance of the Star League, the Inner Sphere experienced unprecedented peace, prosperity, and technological advancement.
If you play any of the BattleTech games,
rise comes a great fall.
yes,
Beset by greed and mistrust, humanity splintered. The Star League crumbled. Technological advancement slowed. The great houses, each vying for supremacy, turned on one another, engaging in a series of conflicts known as the Succession Wars. Amidst this chaos, mercenaries became the proxy forces for the great houses. Numerous battlefields sprung up across the Inner Sphere, dominated by hulking war machines known as battle mechs. The year is now 3015, and these steel behemoths have become the tools of the mercenaries' trade. It's a lucrative time, yet one beset with perils of all kinds. only the most skilled and brave among them will rise to become legend.
We're not here for the legends. We're here to make money. But yes, if you played any of the BattleTech games or have any familiarity with MechWarrior, you know that this is kind of early days. Later on, the clans arrive, forcing the Initiates to sort of try and work together and fight off these technologically superior factions and machines. Alright, thank you. So, what logo should we go with? There is one I quite like. Oh, no, got to go far to the end. See, I added in a bunch of extra logos because you don't get many. I just wish the browsing was a bit better. Okay, there's a particular one I want. There we go. And if you don't get the reference, don't worry. Tucker's Kobolds is a somewhat legendary little thing of someone who managed to basically turn kobolds into the most nightmarish encounter in their giant super dungeon. And to the point where the party basically races through the levels with the kobolds in to go and fight the demi-lichers. Alright, so old friend, basically he says go get your rep up and then I'll send you some more things. We don't need to hire pilots because we should. We don't have any of these to start with, I didn't think so. Now we want to go to the barracks. Thank you, tutorials. Now, yeah, you already start with a full roster in career mode. And there is something to look at is all of these different pilots you can hire all have different descriptions about their history and their lives, which I quite enjoy. I do like those little things. Normally, if you didn't have max potential on, this would give you like hints of what they're good at. And of course, you'd see their potential anyway, but they start off as lieutenants. Oh my god, he's actually got a very long voice pack there. Yeah. They start off as lieutenants, but you can also hire like captains and majors, I believe, which normally have higher limits and different descriptions of... So who have I got? Ultimate loyalty is to your wallet, but nevertheless approach each job like a true pro. I like it. Oh dear. Sorely delusional. I'm going to call you fodder. Now, there is an absolutely amazing mod out there which actually completely redos this, adds in a ton of unique pilots, a load of things like if they eject, you can rescue them, you can go back and try and make sure they're not killed, and various things like that. And it adds a lot more depth to the game. Unfortunately, it's not compatible with a few of the other mods I've got, so I've left off of that one for now. So let's have a look. It's all locusts and commandos. That might be special. Let's have a look. Not my taste though. No heat sinks either. Yeah, you need heat sinks on your mechs with lasers, otherwise we're going to have a bad time. Now let's have a look. Not a bad starting pattern. That's alright. We can paint our mechs to make them look a bit better though. Though I will sort that out in a little bit. But you start off with quite a few. Ooh. I didn't think this would give me this particular pattern because there we go, let's get the achievement. Because this doesn't exist yet. I'll sort out the coloration later, but alright. Now this is very different to normal BattleTech. BattleTech has a lot more depth, as do the earlier MechWarrior games. This has kind of been simplified. So you've got your just weapon things here, or we can go into details, and now we can see the meat and bones of our mech. Now first thing I'm going to do is take the jump jets off. There's very little reason to have jump jets in this game. The terrain, 90% of the time, doesn't need it. Now, oops, nope, didn't want to do that. Oh, but it's fine now. I like the fact they've put the heat sinks in the legs. I might as well put the ammo in the head, and you might be thinking, you're mad, and indeed I am, but the thing is, if your head gets blown up, you're dead anyway. So, you might as well stick your ammo there. Because headshots are actually really hard to do in this game, on most mechs. Now, is there anything I can sacrifice for just that little bit more armor? I wouldn't like to get rid of those heat sinks, because that is a good amount of cooling. But there's no real weapons I can get rid of. I definitely need the ammo for the gun. We're going to get rid of a single heatsink. You want max armor in this game. And you always want to keep moving. Because in this game, there we go, let's get that half ammo just to ensure I've got a little bit more ammo. I'm going to stick that in the leg. There we go. Bit safer down there. But yes, you always want to keep moving because there's actually a mischance if you're moving, and it really lowers the accuracy of your opponents. Now, AI. Other things to consider with the AI. This is actually a really good commando. First things first, let's have a look. Max range is 270. We want to get rid of these missiles. And the reason for that is the quirk of the AI is they will try to get into their range of their lowest range weapon. And they will often get in the face of the enemy and bad things happen to them. To put it bluntly. So we do that. Chuck in a heatsink. There we go. You're now a proper laser mech. It's going to cost us a chunk of our starting money, but it has to be done. And what about you? Oh, you're just frankly terrible. I might just leave this one as is and just expect it to die. We're going to put those there. Ammo does have a chance of cooking off if it gets damaged, so yeah, let's stick it in the legs. Less likely to die then. Oh. Do I bother? Do I just give you a short range laser? Oh, there's a level. Oh, that's expensive though. Wait, max range is 270. Oh my god, that's like minimum range for quite a lot of my stuff. All right, we're gonna buy it. We're gonna make poor life choices here. Now, see. That maximum range is 236. So yeah, you're going to be punching someone in the kneecaps. Have we got any half ammo? Oh, this is just going to end badly. Oh, I've never had a short range mech survive. The AI just can't handle it. Oops. New. Oh. Machine guns, lovely, even less range. Oh, I might as well just keep it with the medium laser. Those machine guns are useless. Max armor. Not that. This thing, I mean, look at this. The torso is 16 normally, 4 on the rear. This thing's just walking tinfoil. So, before I skip the timeline to get all the repairs done, this is something that I really enjoy in the game, and that's the fact it has little news articles with bits of lore and history about what's going on, lets you know what kind of wars are going to be, you know, coming up, and who's probably going to be fighting who. There we go. Let's go to our star map. Yeah, we know about the star map. It's where the stars are, so the game will usually try to make you go clockwise. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a 3 to 5. That's a 1 to 2. That's what we want to be starting with. Oh, and one of the other mods. Normally you only have up to 3 missions in a sector. I've made it so you get between 4 and 8. Just to make it a little bit more fun and a little less constant transport and loading times. So it's a lot of independents wanting to kill House Steiner. That's no good for us. We want to be doing House Steiner. Now, other things to consider. There's a lot of infiltration missions. Those are a bit of a mixed bag, if I'm honest. Infiltration missions aren't particularly great. There's a lot of complaints about them because it does feel like yeah, they don't quite work the way they were intended. Oh wow, that's across 2 factions. So let's head over here. We're going to travel. It's going to take us 27 days. That's fine. Use a good chunk of money to go quite the long distance. Ooh, that does lag a bit now. I've added all those mods in. That used to be very smooth. There's also a mod to remove this whole cutscene out to make the game so much faster, because every time we want to go between systems, we'll see that cutscene. So it's a conflict zone. This is a thing to be aware. You start in industrial zones, and industrial zones are all these. They're where you can repair your mech. There's also conflict zones, which we're now in. And as you can see, repairs take longer and cost more. So, alright. I don't particularly want to stomp on House Steiner. They kind of like me. In Independence, very good to have friends with them in the campaign mode. In career mode, Independents are useless. Really, they should be always on 0, because they're supposed to be independent people, like all across the galaxy. And it feels a bit silly that if you screw over one independent, every single one of them hates you. So we're going to go with the infiltration. Oh, that's lava. That's no fun. Now, as I was saying, infiltration mission, not really great. But I am trying to get an achievement. Oop.
You'll have limited visibility out there and have to contend with sensor malfunctions.
That's fine. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to get an achievement for essentially soloing a bunch of levels. Now, as long as it doesn't screw us over with one of the missions, we can go in this light mechs. And we've got a far superior commando option. So, infiltration missions will always have some sort of visibility restriction. 2, 1. That's kind of a holdover from co-op mode. I don't know why that's even in the single player.
Scout behind enemy lines. Follow the nav points and follow orders. Be quick and quiet.
Ooh, even night vision's not helping me much here. So let's have a look. And that's something else I should check. Bit of advice. You want to look at these weapon groupings. You can do it in the mech setup screen, and depending on which ones you set as 1, 2, 3, 4, that can actually change preferences for the AI as well of what they want to do. So left click is medium laser, right click is my large laser, and chain fire is something important to consider. If you're in a mech that's going to have problems with overheating, rather than firing all of your weapon group in one go, if you can make it so they fire one after another, and that will actually help with your heat situations. Alright, so we got a long walk to go before the mission even really begins. Now with infiltration missions, you can see half of it is... Well, yeah, duh.
Commanders also identified a number of targets of opportunity in enemy territory. They're offering generous performance bonuses for each one we can get done in addition to our primary objective.
Let me get a word in. Yes, so the non-checkered area, that's friendly territory. Probably not going to have any problems there, as you can see with the little friendly turrets on the map. And well, the checkered section, well, that's enemy territory. Oops. Now, if you don't like the first-person view, you can go into third-person, which can be quite handy at times. I mean, I do like the effect. It's certainly no Armoured Core, but they're very different beasts. Alright, let's go. Now, I wish they'd open the gate for me. I kind of feel bad stomping through the base, and if I'm not careful where I stand, this could actually damage my mech. Oh, come on. Ooh. Yeah, well, I'm not going to get penalised for it. Oh, how close do I have to be to that checkpoint? This is the one thing I don't like about infiltration missions. That They won't give you the objectives until you get here.
Mark the location of some valuable supplies that our employer would like liberated.
Yep, that's default we always have to do.
Would like us to scout the Ep1's battle mech forces while we're in the field. Attempt to sensor log each mech you come across without alerting them to your position. I've received a distress call from an
Oh no!
See if you can get them out of there safely.
No, that's what I was worried about. We've been screwed over. Because with that mission, you need a full lance. And it's practically impossible to do. You can't, and as soon as you go near it, it sets off the alarm. It's not possible to do it without triggering the alarm. So it's just unfair.
The target is calling for help, but is having trouble getting us
There we
to
go.
ground.
I should have really been moving while doing that. It's got to be careful with the turrets.
No alarms raised.
Yep.
Target acquired.
Just not quite enough impact to kill it in a single laser. There we go. Remember to move this time. It's fine. It's just the armor.
Target
Equivalent of damaging the paint. So whether or not we do that mission, I don't know. Depends how many things are guarding it. But it will mean we have to fight every flimming mech on the level solo in a mech that is essentially walking tinfoil. So I'm probably going to leave him there. I've got no desire to do that mission. Now, there's often a joke that because these are so kind of broken, you should probably do what they call the House Steiner Scout Team.
Once you've found the targeted asset, move up to it, and
No.
we'll begin the recovery procedure.
Which is essentially go in as, forget light mechs, just go in as heavy a mech as possible and just destroy everything. It's a case of can't raise the alarm if there's no one left to raise the alarm.
That's close enough. Ready to start pickup operation.
There's like dozens of flimming memes online about it.
Acquired.
Now, we could be brave and try it. Okay. That's unusual. Usually there's always someone guarding one of these bases. Lovely.
Data transfer complete. Those weapons will make a fine addition to the armory.
acquired.
The main job here is we're going to be going and just trying to target all the enemy mechs. Oh, there is another thing that is a bit of a problem with this, and that's the fact that you're supposed to get within like range of a thing. It says detection risk. If you stay too long or get too close, you get detected. Fair enough. Simple, right? Now, mechs basically have a sensor range. And if you go within that sensor range, they will start attacking you in spite of you not being detected. Or they'll start marching towards you. Which, if you're lucky, you can sort of lead them on a merry chase through the whole level. If you're unlucky, they will essentially spot you within like 10 seconds before you can even accelerate away, because they've got a very long sight distance, even in the fog, and you'll lose your,
Target acquired.
your bonus for not being detected. Now, I am going to get rid of this. Oh, there was 3 there.
Target destroyed.
My mistake. Now I've got to wait for my lasers to recharge. It's fine, I have a minute to kill them, but it is tanks as opposed to things. Come on, come on, I need to shoot. And I'm getting shot to bits
Target
because I can't really maneuver here. Because if I maneuver too far, that mech will spot me. Making my own life difficult. Now, lasers don't do all their damage in one go. They have to, oh, there we go. Oof.
target destroyed.
Took far too much damage there. Yeah. And see, this is why I don't want to fight mechs in this. If I'm having this much trouble with tanks. There we go.
Sensor sweep detected.
Oh, those are the words I did not want to hear. Where are the other 3 mechs? I'm going to keep having a look round for them. Oh yeah, he's firing at me. He can't see me, hasn't detected me. He's firing lasers at me. But yeah, I was saying earlier that lasers don't do all the damage on initial contact. You have to hold contact on the target, which, when you're not quite experienced in the game, that can be quite hard to do, or in really fast mechs, it can be sometimes hard to keep a lock. There we go. Blow you up. Oops, I accidentally stepped on him. Didn't. Oh no, that got me. No, I might have to restart this one if I'm honest. Thankfully there is an autosave at the start of every mission. There we go. Oh, that turret just popped up as I went. That guy's still pursuing me. That was a terrible miss. Oh no, he's still coming. That's incredibly frustrating. And he's firing at me. He's firing at me in spite of not detecting me. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to restart this. Or I'm going to see if I can blow him up in a minute. We'll try that. Can I be... Wait, that... Oh, that alerted everyone in that section. Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely bug I've discovered.